Yes, he should. Oh my God. What is that? It's the unknown. What's up, it's cinemashogun here, and every single day we talk about some really serious issues on this channel. Don't get me wrong, I sprinkle in some entertainment news here and there, but for the most part, it seems as if we're always covering tragic stories because unfortunately, we live in an age where tragedies just seem to happen every single day, like multiple times a day. But sometimes I grow tired of constantly talking about kids getting hurt or kidnapped. It's just a really, it's a depressing topic. So I think every now and then we need a good palate cleanser. So that's why I sat down to make this video. Now, don't get me wrong. Even though this story isn't as serious as some of the stories we cover, this story is just as crazy as any other story we have covered. How many of you all have seen the movie Willy Wonka? Personally, I prefer the original. I've seen the Johnny Depp version. I don't really like it. I haven't seen the new one that's in theaters. Let me know if it's any good, if any of you all have seen it. But the original Willy Wonka was a classic. But right now, an entire new generation of kids is being introduced to Willy Wonka from this new movie. And apparently, these party organizers in Glasgow decided that it was a good idea to hold this big, gigantic, crazy, marvelous, spectacular Willy Wonka event. Now, they promoted this event for weeks, if not months on end. And they promised that it would be a totally immersive experience, that you would walk in and feel like you were in the Willy Wonka movie. There would be candy everywhere, giant mushrooms, giant gobstoppers, just tons of activities for kids to enjoy, and of course, there would be Oompa Loompas there making candy. They promised the whole 9 yards. They said it would be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and they used AI photos to promote this event. So the day of the event finally comes. Eager children, along with their parents, gather together to go immerse themselves in the world of Willy Wonka. But when they get to the location, they find out that this Willy Wonka experience isn't much of a Willy Wonka experience at all. It's not whimsical, it's not magical, it's not spectacular. It's basically an empty warehouse with a few little backdrops posted on certain walls with a little miniature inflatable castle and about, I would say, $20 or $30 worth of decorations. Now, the families automatically got angry about this. And naturally so. Now, I know I said this video wasn't about kids getting hurt, but kids definitely got hurt here because kids were just filling the warehouse, just bawling their eyes out. Tears everywhere. Projectile toddler tears just shooting out of eye sockets everywhere. Because some of them traveled a very long distance. Their family spent way too much money taking them to what was basically an empty warehouse. An empty warehouse. But they did promise Oompa Loompas. And there was one Oompa Loompa in attendance. This is the Oompa Loompa right here. Now, do you spot the problem here? Does this look like an Oompa Loompa to you, or does this look like someone that's cooking meth in a warehouse? This is like the Walter White of Oompa Loompas. Imagine spending over $100 to take your kid to this event, and you're just as excited for the event because you grew up with Willy Wonka too. So you're all expecting a wonderful day full of magical experiences, and you arrive to this with the methed out Oompa Loompa doing Lord knows what in a mostly empty warehouse. I want to dive into this article real quick as well. It was billed as a celebration of chocolate in all its delightful forms, but ended up a tragic tale worthy of an Oompa Loompa song. Police were called to a venue in Glasgow after furious families who had spent hundreds of pounds on the Willy's chocolate experience complained about the awful event that left kids in tears and was abruptly canceled midway through. The event organizer, House of Illuminati, which charged for tickets, promised an immersive experience based on the Warner Bros. Film Wonka, which stars Timothée Chalamet as the young chocolate entrepreneur and was an instant hit with kids and grown-ups over the festive period. The event publicly promised giant mushrooms, candy canes, chocolate fountains, along with special audio and visual effects, all narrated by dancing Oompa Loompas. But instead, this is what they got. Now, right off the bat, I am not going to any experience that is organized by the House of Illuminati. That should have been your first sign. House of Illuminati? Yeah, don't think I want to go there. Your second sign should have been when they were using AI photos to promote this. You guys got to be careful about AI photos, AI in general, especially these AI promotional material, because when you actually get the product or you actually get to the event, it's not going to look like it looks in the AI photos. Now, when it comes to this situation, I think that if people were to have gotten to the warehouse and it looked nice, you wouldn't see any complaints. But unfortunately, they got the most ghetto, ratchet nonsense I could possibly think of. I can't imagine being a kid all hyped up for this. You're skipping around in your glow-up shoes, and then you skip into this warehouse and you see this. But let's go further. When eager families turned up to the address, an industrial area in Glasgow, they discovered a sparsely decorated warehouse with a scattering of plastic props, a small bouncy castle, and a few backdrops pinned against the wall. After an immediate angry response from early arrivals who demanded their money back, organizers called a halt to the event only hours after opening, but failed to inform later attenders, some of whom had traveled substantial distances and are now demanding their train costs be refunded too. Now, to add insult to injury, it was promised that they would have activities. Like these kids would have chocolate fountains, they would be able to make their own candies, all of this cool stuff. But for the kids that actually stuck around, all they were given in the long run was 3 jelly beans and a quarter of a cup of lemonade. 3 jelly beans and a quarter of a cup of lemonade. And some of these people spent countless amounts of money traveling from far distances to get here, spending money on tickets for their whole entire family, and this is what they received. I was at a loss for words when I saw what this event looked like. And when I saw the Oompa Loompa, it just took me out. I couldn't stop myself from almost rolling on the floor in laughter. Because as much of a ripoff as this situation was, the look on this Oompa Loompa's face is totally worth it to me. It's totally worth it. Like, I know these kids and these families sacrificed a lot to be there. I feel bad they had a horrible experience. But their horrible experience provided us all with a pleasurable experience because we get to sit at home and laugh at how shitty this event was. We get to sit at home and make memes about this event. We get to sit at home and make memes about this Oompa Loompa for years, possibly even decades to come. But in a world filled with horrible stories, this one is both horrible, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of quality comedy here. There's a lot of comedic content that you can get out of an event like this. And I hope that some of the families there were able to take advantage of that. Imagine being the person there with the camera documenting all of this. That would be amazing. I would pay the ticket price to go here just to see the look on everyone else's faces when they realized, the reality, when the reality sets in that this is what we paid for. But all jokes aside, this is false advertisement at its finest. And I think the people who are responsible for this event should be held accountable beyond just providing a refund. Because we're going to start seeing more and more stuff like this. And in the age of AI, it's going to start being hard to figure out what's real and what's fake. So I encourage everyone to approach these little events, approach your vacations, approach it all accordingly. Approach it all knowing that we now live in a day and age where anything can be faked. It could look real, it could seem real, it can seem good, but it can be fake. In this situation, no one got hurt. Maybe some feelings got hurt, but no one got hurt. But just imagine what AI photos will be used for in the future. People are going to be lured into some very dangerous scenarios. They're going to be lured into some very dangerous places because they're going to have a misunderstanding of what they're getting themselves into. Because AI photos will be used to advertise these locations and these events. So hopefully this can raise some awareness about that so we can figure out how to battle that in the future. Because I do see that being a big problem in the near future. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. Let me know your favorite Willy Wonka character. While you're down there, if you would like to donate to the channel, you could do so via CashApp. Or you can help the channel by sharing, subscribing, all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.